Of recent, I realized that some people have moved to Portugal and currently they have numerous immigration policies and pathways to come to Portugal and work. It is no longer news that Portugal, not too long ago, said there were jobs for foreigners in their country. And they even introduced the job seeker visa. Like I have said before now, when you realize that a country introduces job seeker visa, just know that they need foreign workers. But for Portugal, they need skilled and semi-skilled workers. And it is also very, very important for you to also know that Portugal is a very nice country. It's a country in Europe and they speak Portuguese, where Cristiano Ronaldo is from. Now, don't forget, like I have said before, it is very, very important for you to know these things so that you can even attempt to get these jobs on your own. And if you want to use the service or services of travel agents, you as a person should have an idea of how this Portugal work visa thing works. So that when a travel agent is making any attempt to scare or skeleje you, you'll be on hand to hold your hand here and say, that is not how it is done. Education is not scam. Knowing things is very, very important because when a travel agent is processing a visa for you, if they are doing it the wrong way, you cannot correct them if you don't know. But for someone like me and for others out there who have been following me for some time, who now know what it takes, requirements to get and process a visa. Those people now, when a travel agent is trying to act funny, they call the travel agent to order and say, no, this is not how it is done. Nosa Comedy said, it is done this way, it is done that way, it is not done that way, it is not done this way. But if you don't know, you cannot contest them. First, my name is Nosa Comedy. Please do well to subscribe to this channel if you have not yet done so. And give this video a big thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend this content to others who might also be interested. Now, let's look at the types of visas, the types of work visas first for Portugal. It is very important. The first one, the first type of work visa in Portugal, or the first type of Portugal work visa is short-term work visas, valid for up to 3 months, typically non-renewable. That is the first one. Short-term work visas. The second one, temporary work visas. These temporary work visas are valid for up to 2 years and often renewable. You can renew this one. The third one there is job seeker visa. Portugal job seeker visa. Valid for 120 days with a possibility of renewal for up to 60 days, allowing individuals to search for employment in Portugal. Now, with this Portugal job seeker visa, you don't need to get a job in Portugal before applying for this Portugal job seeker visa. So this is another kind of visa entirely, which I intend to do video on in the coming days. Then the fourth one there is independent digital nomad visa. Independent nomad digital visa designed for freelancers and remote workers So for those people that work from home, it is very, very important for you to know all these things. You understand? Because this digital nomad visa and is for freelancers and remote workers. If you are this kind of person, you work from home from your laptop for a company, maybe in the US, in the UK, in your country. If you meet the requirements, you can move to Portugal under this independent slash digital nomad visa. Now, what are the requirements for these Portugal visas? General requirements. 1. Valid passport. A passport must be original and valid for at least 3 months beyond the intended stay. 2. Job offer. It is essential to secure a job offer or employment contract prior to applying for the visa. Now, there are many people who have reached out to me saying, Osa Comedy, my travel agent is telling me he can process a Portugal work visa for me. And I am asking them, please, one of the requirements is getting a job offer from an employer in Portugal. It is very, very important because, like I earlier mentioned, these 4 visas I made mention of, short-term work visa, temporary work visas, you need a job offer from an employer right there in Portugal. So without that job offer, you cannot process a Portuguese work visa. But for the digital nomad visa, you don't need to land a job in Portugal to be able to process that one. For the Portuguese, or we want to call it Portugal job seeker visa, you must not land a job with a Portuguese employer before you can apply for a Portugal job seeker visa. You don't need to have a job in Portugal. You don't need to get a job in Portugal. If you meet the requirements, all you have to do, you apply for that visa, move to Portugal, and start to search for jobs. The job seeker visa for Portugal permits that. So now, I told you valid passports, that is the requirements for a Portugal work visa, job offer, financial resources. Applicants must have sufficient financial means to support themselves during their stay in Portugal. So, because while you are on your way or processing that work visa to Portugal, don't forget, between your first day to maybe your next 30 days as a worker in Portugal, you might not get paid by your employer, except maybe it's on the contract for your employer to pay you bi-weekly, which is 2 weeks. But even if your employer has agreed to pay you bi-weekly, at least before your employer starts paying you, you have to show the embassy that you have some monies that you are going to use to take care of yourself in Portugal before your employer starts paying you. So the finance is very, very important. The next requirement is medical insurance. Yes. Proof of having private medical insurance is generally required. Then the next requirement is PCC, police clearance certificates. No serious criminal record. A clear criminal record is mandatory, specifically having no serious convictions leading to a prison sentence exceeding 1 year. So now, For Nigeria, where I am from, I know that people get this police clearance certificate, PCC, from the police station. And some people have even said it was very easy for them to get, and it is cheap. I don't know how much it is now. From the people who have said it, they got it very, very cheap. So you can visit the nearest police station in your locality and say you want to apply or get a police clearance report, or you want to call it a police clearance certificate. Because the reason why this document is very, very important is that majority of the work visa requirements I have seen, if not all, they require police clearance certificates. So it is very, very important for you to get this PCC. So if you are processing a work visa to any of these countries, and under the visas I have mentioned here for Portugal, excluding the job seeker visa and the what is it called? The digital nomad visa, you need a job offer. So if it is not that too, and you are doing the short term or temporary one work visa for 2 years that is renewable, you need to get a job offer. You need to know these things, because sometimes many of you downplay this information. At the end of the day, you gather your hard-earned money, you give them to travel agents. Then later, you will be saying travel agents collected money from you and they did not deliver. Whereas if you, the client who is now a victim, had decided to pay attention to details, maybe you wouldn't have just fall into that trap. So please, it is very important. And also, another requirement is that accommodation. If your employer in Portugal is the one who has said they are going to provide accommodation for you, there has to be a document to that effect. If it is you that will be renting an apartment, or you have rented an apartment, or you want to stay in an hotel for the first 1 month before you get paid by your employer, there has to be an hotel reservation to that effect. So that is just basically what it is. And also, flight itinerary is also very, very important. So this is just basically what you need for the Portugal work visa. These are the requirements generally. And also, from what I have just told you, it is also very, very important for you to note that me here, I don't want you to ever fall victim if you are falling before. Know these things. Even if you don't have the money now to travel abroad, this information I've just given you will become very, very important one day. Don't forget, you will remember. I wish you all the best. Anybody can travel abroad. Keep praying, keep working hard, always work smart, and you will get there. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good one.